Welcome back to digital class, and now we are coming back to energy form and uses, but now we are focusing on heat. So heat in simple, you need to understand that it's actually a form of energy. So heat is actually usually produced by a heat source. And again, the heat source can be natural or can be man-made. So heat source like natural, like sun. Okay, and heat source that is man-made, we have example like heaters, boilers, like bulbs. All these are heat source, but it's produced by human. And we understand that heat is a form of energy, so we also call it as heat energy. So what are the properties of heat energy? Okay, now this is very important. First, heat always transfer from the hotter region to a cooler region. Okay, again, heat always transfer from a hotter region to a cooler region. Second, heat can change the temperature of an object. Okay, and the last one, heat can cause matter to change its state. So for example, ice is solid. When it increases the heat around, the temperature around is increasing, and it can become a water. Okay, that is a change in states. For example, from solid state become a liquid state. Okay, so now let's move on here. Let's understand temperature. Temperature basically is a measurement of an object's degree of hotness. So we use degrees Celsius in simple, and we can use thermometer to measure temperature. So we have three main thermometer here that can use to measure temperature. So the first one, we have clinical thermometer, laboratory thermometer, and digital thermometer. So clinical thermometer example is like to use to measure a body's temperature. Okay, so its range is usually 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. Why? Because humans body usually is around this range lah. Okay, if it goes below 35 it's actually too extreme, go beyond 42 is too extreme, so it's around that degree or the temperature. Now the next one, we have laboratory thermometer, and it will be up to negative 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius, and we use this to measure an object temperature in experiment. Okay, that's why it's a laboratory thermometer. So digital thermometer, I think in COVID times we use that a lot. So that can be both measuring temperature of human and of course an object in experiment. Okay, an object used in experiment. Okay, so let's move on. So this is an example of a clinical thermometer. So it's special that it has actually a mercury inside. This is what we call as a bulb. Okay, so this mercury is actually very important in this clinical thermometer because each kind of shows the reading here. Okay, how? When it absorbs heat, because we put on our body, when it absorbs heat, then it will expand, then it try to increase in its volume, then the mercury level will rise. That's why you can see it will increase, increase, increase. Then you take it out. Example, you just put here, you measure, then you take it out. When you take it out, of course, it heat actually kind of lose already, right? Then the mercury level will kind of go down. But of course, we don't want it to go down so fast, right? Because we want to read it. If before you read it goes down, then you need to hold and read like this, right? So it's not good. So there's something called the constriction here that actually prevents the expanded mercury from flowing back to the bulb. Again, this actually expand after when you put in your body. When you take it out, of course it will go back, right? Okay, but we don't want it to go back so fast. That's why we have a constriction. It prevents the expanded mercury from flowing back into the bulb when the thermometer is removed from the body. Okay, so this is basically how this clinical thermometer works. Okay, again, however, clinical thermometer is kind of dangerous if, example, you accidentally break the clinical thermometer, then the mercury actually is poisonous, kind of. Okay, so that is basically the whole thing about this short little topic. And in our next video, we'll talk about the effect of heat. Okay, thank you. See you. Bye bye.